Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's me to go first. I have exploits. There may be others. I quite like to play my opening move quickly online in case my opponent abandons the game, especially when I have an opening rack bingo. If there is a better move, it won't be much better. Exploit 92. This is pretty good. Natrons and non-arts are both good. They play in column 10. Do I have something better? Actually, I didn't need to play that opening move so quickly. I've just noticed that my opponent is somebody I know to be a reliable person, but I suspect there wasn't a much better play. Now, natrons and non-arts also play in columns, well, in row I. So I've got the floaters in exploit to consider. There's resonant through the E of exploit. That stops one square short of row O, and resonant takes an S, so that's not ideal. And the anagram of resonant is Nortainers, which does not hit a double word square. Can't see anything through the X. The P would be interesting because it holds open the possibility of having a double-double. Can't see anything there. Can't see anything through the O. Well, there may be something through the I. This is a really bingo-y set of letters. But I'm fairly confident that either resonant or natrons will go down. Just looking in rows G and I to see if I've got a significant parallel play. I don't think so. XPL is a pretty tricky set of consonants to play over or under. So actually natrons and non-arts play underneath the I of exploit. My opponent has taken a while. He may be struggling with a tricky rack or maybe close to a bingo. Okay, that's fine. There goes the other blank, so a cracking start for both of us. Has my opponent provided other opportunities? I don't think so. So, natrons is better than non-art. Well, is it? Yes, it is, because non-arts places a vowel next to a double word square. Although this doesn't get doubled, I am getting the benefit of the X, so it's equivalent to being doubled. 75 points. Now through a T I would have festoons, and I think there is the T of natrons. Now, does eftsoons have an anagram? Well, sorry, it's eftsoons and festoons. They both play through the T of natrons, but not through the T of exploits. But eftsoons plays through the T of ditherer. So, I hope one of those remains available. Pretty cracking start to the game. Now, do I have any bingos through other tiles? I don't think I have a 7-letter bingo with this rack. The double O and the F are not great bingo-y combinations to have. Well, quite a lot of floaters to consider. I can't see any more bingos. If those bingos are blocked, I'll be looking to play off the F and at least one of the O's, so I could play of in column 2, making phi and O for about 30 points. That would be pretty good. I've also got oof in row I underneath exploits for about 20 points, which is not so good. I've only used up a minute and a half of my time. My opponent has used up nearly a quarter of his. I'm looking around for other spots for my F. But I can't see anything great. Great, F-Tsoons at D1, not blocked. And my plays through the T of Natrons are all blocked. Well, this has been a pretty amazing start to the game. Three bingos. Let's see if it carries on. Ooh, close, but I don't think so. I've got the out prefix, but then I've got PLUN. Gosh, close to non-uplet. I think the two U's may just stump me in terms of finding a bingo. So, what am I trying to do? It would be good to get rid of both U's. I can do that with Ulu or Pulu. But is there somewhere I can score well? Well, I haven't seen anywhere to play either of those. I could play Pulu through the P of exploits, but that's 6 points, which is pretty dismal. Well, now what I could do is Pulu down here. 18 points, that's pretty good. Can I do better than that? And it's keeping the board open. It's opening up the triple word square at A15, and I've got a good lead, and I'd quite like the board to remain open because that should enable me to keep on scoring when you're about 100 points ahead. Then keeping on scoring is a good strategy. But can I do better than Pulu? There is always a best move. Now I've got the up and the un prefix. So, does that help? I'm looking at A1. Well, I can't see anything great through that E. I could play fop in column 2, but that keeps 2 U's, and I am not doing that. Okay, I can't see anything better than this. Well, that looks promising. Good vowel consonant balance, no duplicate tiles, fairly bingo-y letters. I've got the ly and the ILY suffix. Do I have a bingo? Orientally is not good, otherwise that would be a 9 timer in column 1. Can't see anything with the E. Wow, another bingo for my opponent. He's only 61 points behind, despite my starting with 3 bingos. Now, is intautly good? Wow, that's a big call. I would have it through the T of ligature, intautly. Gosh, it might be. I'm not confident about it. So, do I have a bingo? So many floaters to consider. Well, I'm looking down the floaters in ligature, and nothing is jumping out at me. Snortily might be good from an S, but there is no S, so I don't have to agonise over that. Now, what I could do is foy here. 35 points, which is a good score. But LNRT is not a great set of tiles to keep. So, what I could do instead would be poly or ploy. INRT, much nicer set of tiles. And INRT goes particularly well with the E, and there are two E's available in good spots, the E's of Eftsoons and ligature. Have I missed a bingo with this rack? Such a good rack. Well, I say it's such a good rack. It feels like it's pretty close to a bingo, and with so many floaters, there may well be one. Okay, I'm not seeing it. So 27 points, it's 8 points fewer than what I would have got for playing foy. So does the L damage this rack leave by 8 points? I think it does, and if it doesn't, it's going to be pretty close. And if it's close, I would always go for the better rack leave. But is there something better than foy or poly? I'm looking around. I mean, the Y is my scoring tile, so I'm looking around to see where that can play. I wonder if intautly is good. Pretty tempting. But I haven't got such a big lead that it makes sense to try it. Yep, I can't see anything better than this. Right, so I have nitrated, but that doesn't play through either E, not in the right position. Is there an anagram of nitrated? Don't think there is. So what about the other floaters? This doesn't feel like a great rack at all. I've got just under 13 minutes left, 33 tiles in the bag. I certainly don't have a 7-letter bingo with this rack. I'm looking at the float, well, the floaters in ligature. Dratting is probably good, but the G in ligature is in the wrong spot. Ah, well, I don't have a bingo. I do have a 4-timer. I have a Radiant. Which is going to score reasonably well. It's going to expedite the end of the game by playing off a lot of tiles. Yeah, 32 points, that's fine. Oh wow, I have Antique and Quinate. Do either of those play? Yes, well at the moment Antique plays in column 2, making AR. Antique takes DRSY at the end, but none of those tiles are available. I don't think Quinate plays anywhere. if Antique is blocked, I do have Yankee in row A, beginning with the Y of Yids. That's going to score pretty well. Now, do I have any other bingos on this rack? Radiant has taken out a few floaters. I don't think Antica has got an anagram. I'm looking at the R of ligature for that. And I don't think there's anything through an E. Through an S I would have quantize as well as antiques. I would have equation through an O. Well, there's no O's in the right spot. Yankee is 54 points, keeping ET, that's not bad. But Antique is going to score more. Now we've both got 11 minutes left. I'm looking around to see if there are any I's for QI, but I don't need to keep looking for that because I have Antique. That's 88 points. Now I could play Queen at 04 across, placing the Q on the double letter square. 72 points. Yep, there's no need to take that point sacrifice. I think the 88 points is fine. Just pausing in case there is somewhere else to play this move, which I haven't considered. And I don't think there is. Okay, no more bingos for me for a while. And probably not for this game. This is a very heavy rack. But it's good, I have 2 vowels, so I should be able to score well. I've got jaw at G1 down for over 40 points. What else have I got? I'm looking in column 8 to see if I can play through the Eye of Radiant, placing one of my high scoring tiles on the double letter square. Can't see anything there. Onto an M, I could play Fig Jam. I'm not sure keeping VW is particularly good. My F can go underneath OO in column 6. I could play 4 FAW in column 2 for over 30 points. Now what about row O through the E's of Antique and Ligature? Do I have anything using the J? Well, I've got Jew at 01, 39 points. Do I have anything through, or any alternative plays? Well, I don't think I do. Now I can see the tiles that are left. There are 16 in the bag. Great, only 21 points for my opponent, and he's keeping the board open, which is good. Good for him and good for me. Now there's a lot of vowels left. There are 20 tiles unseen, 13 in the bag, 7 on my opponent's rack. Of those 20, 12 are vowels, so it's slightly vowel heavy. But what that means is I can quite happily play off one of my vowels. So this is what I'm thinking of. I'm considering playing jaw for 45 points. Rack leaves pretty poor. But the points score is so good for jaw, I think it's worth taking this rack leave. I just haven't seen any alternatives. And if I played Jew at 0-1, 39 points, that would be a 6-point sacrifice to retain the A. The A doesn't help this rack that much, and there are plenty of floating I's on the board. Now, what about playing my J at L1 just before the I of Antique? Do I have any 4-letter plays beginning J-I? No, not that I can see. I've got 9.5 minutes left, so I'm not in any time trouble. Radiant takes an E in front. Dick, the K of Dick, takes an A or an I after it. Well, that doesn't help me right now. So, can I do better than Jaw? Jar is good. I don't think I have anything beginning AJ. Okay, I can't see anything better than this. Pretty horrible rack, but I do have a couple of vowels to play with. What I don't have is anything great to go through the E's in row O. So my scoring run may dry up. Onto a Y, I would have vilify. This is a pretty tricky rack to deal with. I've got Vav in column 9, but it's not going to score very much, and the rack leave is poor. I'm looking now in row O to see what the best I can do through. Great, well, row O stays available. 27 points for my opponent. I could play Vale at 0-1. Can I do any better than that? This takes out a hot spot for my opponent. It sorts out the duplicate I. Scores 24 points, which isn't terrible. Now, I have an I for going after the Q. So do I have anything in column 2? Well, what I don't have is any play which uses either of my V's, but since everyone has their price in terms of points, 44 points. Now that obstructs row O as well. 24 for Vale, 44 for Fig, 20-point difference. I think I'm going to go with the points. It's not as if I can draw any more V's. V's go reasonably well with vowels. I do have one vowel, and there's plenty of vowels in the bag. Yeah, I like the points. Wow, this is actually quite close to a bingo. I wasn't expecting quite such a good draw. I don't have a bingo. I have valve, but I'm not sure that plays anywhere. Our we takes an L at the end, so I could play a vel, but that's not going to score very much. Haven't got anything great beginning with the Y of Yids in row A. Fig takes an O at the end. It doesn't take any of the letters that I've got. I'm looking at the I of Radiant to see if I've got anything down onto the triple word square, but I've also got the E of Ligature available. So, there's one tile left. I'm not going to play off one tile. There's no point in fishing for a bingo. This game is won. But do I have a good play in column 8 or row O using the triple word square at 08? I've got just under 7 minutes. I don't think my opponent has got a bingo. I've got 11 venial. So I could play 11 across here. £30 points, and VE is quite a good leave. Do I have a word beginning with Viv in column 8? Going through the eye of Radiant. Vivace is good, I don't have a C. Vivian isn't good. Okay, I'm taking the points here. That's not a good pickup. B doesn't go well with the V. I've got Vibe in column 8 through the eye of Radiant. That may be my only out in one. I can see the tiles that my opponent's got. He's got 5 vowels. I don't think he's got a bingo there. Now if Vibe is blocked, what can I do? I'm looking around initially to see if I have an out somewhere. Nothing is coming to mind. I could play VWE at F2, 14 points. It's not a massive score. Yeah, I can't see anywhere else to play out. So I'm looking around for places for my V. There are plenty of places to play it, but not for very many points. While Vibe stays available. So 12 points and I finish. Just waiting for my opponent to end the game. Which he does. And the final score is 361 to my opponent, 553 to me. A winning margin of 192 points. So huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. It was me to go first. I played Exploit and, well, that may well be the only bingo, so I'm glad I didn't miss that. My opponent bingoed straight back, and I then played Natrons at B10, which looks best. I didn't consider Sonorant, so that was... Unfortunately, that bingo doesn't score enough to make it better than Natrons, but I didn't spot it. Eftsoons was the only bingo. And here, this is where I considered FOP, but it kept 2 U's. Pull out, I didn't consider that. A12 through the L of Gabled. That's quite nice, 24 points. I played Pulu for 18, keeping LNOT. LNOT is not a great leave. They're bingo-y tiles, but they don't really go that well together as a set of 4. So pull out would have been better. Nice bingo by my opponent. Great, I didn't miss a bingo here. What did I do? I don't recognise any of those plays. Well, I played Polly for 27. Keeping what? Keeping INRT. I like Polly. INRT goes extremely well with the floating E's on the board. Yeah, and the alternatives being shown here, although they score up to 10 points more, the rack leaves are significantly inferior. So if Polly isn't best, it's not far off. Great, I didn't miss a bingo here, and Radiant looks best. and I was quite fortunate to have antique. Now, this is where my rack suddenly became very non-bingo-y. But that was okay, because I was still able to score 45 points for draw. Oh, not a good rack for my opponent. A wee was a nice play, which sorted that rack out. And this is where I played Fig for 44, and I think that's best. It's 20 more points than the next closest play, which is Vale at 01, which I was on the brink of playing. Oh wow, look at that! Oh my word, Univalve! Ah! Okay, so, well, it hasn't ruined my evening, but that's an annoying miss. That's a lovely, lovely word, and I could have played it. Univalve, 88 points. Instead, I got 30 for 11. Okay, well done if you spotted Univalve. And finally, Vibe was the only outplay. So, fantastic game. 3 bingos straight from the start. I think that's the first time that's happened in this video series. So, it's nice when that happens. You're pretty much guaranteed to be in the lead and in the driving seat when that happens. But my opponent also had a good start with bingos, and so after those 3 bingos of mine, I think I was only about 60 points ahead, so it's still a close game at that point. I pulled away towards the end, especially with Antique. So overall, I mean, that was a good game for me. I drew well and had playable bingos on an open board. So I think there was plenty of good stuff there to enjoy. So I hope you got something out of that and enjoyed watching it. And well done again if you spotted Univalve. Thank you for watching. My name is David Webb. This has been a video for Dweebovision.